So what's up, everybody? Black Clover 329 fan translations are out, and I have to give an honest talk with y'all because I'm not really liking what's going on in the community right now. I really did enjoy this chapter, and I'm gonna give you guys honest opinions. Some of you guys are just being real toxic, saying that I'm not saying the truth. I literally enjoyed this chapter. If I didn't like the chapter, I'll let you guys know. Like, I didn't like how when 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚢 got reborn from Painter Dude. I'm not even gonna say his name because I don't even respect that character. But yeah, we need to talk because it's getting crazy out there. I love this chapter. I'm gonna still give it a review. So let's get into this controversial chapter. First of all, if you like anime, manga reviews, discussion, spoilers, and theories, definitely hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚢𝚛 hit me with some false copyright strikes. This is the new channel. I didn't boot you out. Comment, subscribe, it'd be highly appreciated. I have another channel that focuses on One Piece. Looks like you guys want me to start doing Boruto as well, so I will imply that moving forward, but let me know. Watch out for the Patreon and Discord. So this chapter to me was good. I have no complaints. The last couple of chapters in Black Clover have been prime for me. I mean, Asta had his own Super Saiyan moment. When Asta and Lee went to that perfect devil union, a devil union that looks like not even Nacht can actually achieve, but because Lee and Asta have this potentially stronger bond than Nacht's and his devils, because Asta and Lee are literally brothers. And I really like that. Once this part is animated, I'm sure it's going to be very hyped because Asta had his moments. He literally had the moment that Goku had, and honestly is being ruined by the fandom because they keep complaining about villains in Black Clover, and the villains in Black Clover were pretty decent. I'm not going to say that they're the best in all of shonen, but they're pretty decent. And this chapter literally gives us room to have Lucifero come back. I mean, it's literally foreshadowing that Lucifero is going to come back. It's been confirmed that half of Lucifero's power is still in the underworld, meaning that half of Lucifero is still in the underworld. So this body is just a false body. This body that we see in the real world or in the human world is not the actual Lucifero. The real Lucifero is still in the underworld. Probably just half of his power been taken, but he can regenerate that within time, I'm hoping. This leaves room to have Lucifero to be a series-long villain. So he's not just going to be a villain of the arc, he's going to be a villain for the series. This is literally what we wanted. This is literally what you guys are complaining about. You guys are saying that, oh, the villains in Black Clover aren't going to be lasting that long. I'm not saying that everybody's complaining about this, but a big fandom in Twitter is. And I'm tired of it. Black Clover is good. It's not going to be the greatest of all time, but it's a great fun read. And comparing Black Clover to Fairy Tail, even though they have the same concept of magic, but Fairy Tail, a lot of the fights just didn't make sense. Everything was about friendship, and then somehow friendship gets you stronger. Here, literally, they're fighting the king of the devil at 50%. Asta learns how to do this perfect devil union because he found out more about 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚢𝚛 and what 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚙𝚢𝚛 meant to Lee. It was foreshadowing that Asta was going to find out more about 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚢 and who 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚙 was. And it was even spoken by Nacht that he was going to be the strongest. They only had about 2 days to do devil union, so of course they weren't going to perfect it. So it's like everything that's been going on, it's been written out, and they're still complaining about this. I'm not talking to everybody, but just the toxic people. I'm not really liking how the community is acting, because if you guys want a more realistic story, then don't read shonen, read seinen. They're more realistic. I mean, Jujutsu Kaisen is kind of changing everything because Jujutsu Kaisen is borderline seinen, but it is shonen, and then Attack on Titan was shonen, but it evolved into a seinen type of story. So it's like, you got to keep in mind the fact that no one died. It happens all the time. When people are saying, oh, there's been a lot of death flags and a lot of this, and the death flags in this arc represents what this arc's about. It's about death. We did see a lot of people die in Black Clover. Half the Golden Dawn died. So to say that there's no long-standing villain, we're literally getting that in this chapter. This arc has been about death. The tree of Qliphoth is the tree of death. There's been death in this arc. We literally seen Xenon die. He got disintegrated. His soul is now with Beelzebub. That's pretty dark. That's death right there. It's almost like the toxic people are just creating things. And I don't care if this video gets dislikes. I'm just telling my truth, and I'm just telling what I see. I'm not liking what's going on with the community. Some of y'all have been saying that I'm not telling what I want to say, or I'm being too positive with Black Clover. And no, when I dislike a chapter, I'll let you guys know. I wasn't feeling 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚢 when he got reborn. If you saw my other channel before it got taken down, I criticized Rill. I did not like Rill at all because I had a feeling that Rill was going to make some BS power up that it's just gonna make 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚢 have to do an ass pull, and that's what happened. I think this chapter is great because it leaves room for a return returning villain. Lucifero is literally saying next time. He confirmed that half of his power is still in the underworld. He's coming back. Of course, 𝚲𝚘𝚎 can actually write him off, but I highly doubt it's gonna happen. And then 𝙲𝚘𝚎𝚑 ends up being the actual villain, which I'm for it as well. But just from what this dialogue said, I'm like 95% sure that Lucifero is gonna come back, and this is all foreshadowing. So I'm not really liking how the community is attacking Black Clover. It's becoming very toxic, and you just gotta appreciate Black Clover for what it is. It's a good manga, but it's its own thing. You can't really compare it to Fairy Tail because Black Clover is very dark compared to Fairy Tail. At the end of the day, Black Clover could get darker, but it's still a shonen manga, so there's limits to what it can do. So putting that right to the past, the chapter is called The Devil King and the Magicless Boys, which refers to 𝙬𝚑 and 𝚲𝚘𝚎, and that's what I love about him, because these two people that technically are nobodies combined, they're somebody and they're a force to reckon with. I mean, they defeated devil royalty. They looked down on devil royalty. Lucifero is being very mad, saying that how is it possible to be defeated by people with no magic? He is the greatest of devils and he has the most power. Lucifero does what Lucifero is going to do. As any king that has his ego broken or hurt, he's going to yell and scream and try to show his authority. So of course Lucifero says there's no way I can ever lose, and does gravity magic. Because 𝙬𝚑 and 𝚲𝚘𝚎 are completely exhausted, 𝙬𝚑 can't really cover 𝚲𝚘𝚎 with anti-magic. 𝚲𝚘𝚎 starts having a inner dialogue, and I really like this because it's showing that Lucifero, even though he got cut in half, he's still a fighting force. He's not going to be somebody to get rid of that easily. And I definitely think this is just more indication that Lucifero is going to be back in the story, not just with Lucifero saying that he's going to come back and all that. This is kind of giving seeds to that. Lucifero is basically saying, how dare you look down on me even for a moment. Half of my strength still lies in the underworld. I'm not at my full strength yet, otherwise you guys wouldn't be able to push me this far. And this is the part that I've been saying before. He's literally confirming that half his strength is still in the underworld. We're probably going to have a arc where the cast go into the underworld for whatever reason, and I would love that, so we can explore more of how the underworld looks like, because we only seen certain flashbacks here and there. I'm very excited for the future of Black Clover because we're most likely going to have an arc that explores basically the Black Clover version of hell. That's why I love this chapter. I think this chapter was great. It gives more openings to future events in Black Clover, and it doesn't close the door to anything. You know, 𝚲𝚎𝚎 is just there looking like he doesn't care. Like I've been saying before, and I'll explain it a little bit more, I definitely think 𝚲𝚎𝚎 doesn't care. And I think in the underworld, the devil royalty is really divided by three. For those who don't know, there's the evil trinity is Astaroth, Lucifero, and 𝚲𝚎𝚎. In Black Clover, the bottom floor is three devils, space, time, and gravity. We already know that Lucifer is Lucifero in Black Clover. We already know 𝚲𝚎𝚎 exists and he has space magic. Lucifero has gravity magic. Logically speaking, you can come to the conclusion that Astaroth is most likely going to be the time devil. For those who don't know, in demonology, Astaroth is actually a part of the Order of the Flies. So not only is 𝚲𝚎𝚎 a part of the Order of the Flies, but also Astaroth. So that means that they're going to have more alliances with 𝚲𝚎𝚎. In my opinion, there is probably tension to get the crown of the King of Devils. So I'm guessing that 𝚲𝚎𝚎 and Lucifero probably do have some type of rivalry against each other. Lucifero is king just because he's king, but 𝚲𝚎𝚎 will like to be king as well, or at least try to take that title away from Lucifero. And I think that's what's gonna happen. I think alliance-wise, the hierarchy in the devil race in the Tree of Qliphoth favors more 𝚲𝚎𝚎. And I'm thinking that future-wise, 𝚲𝚎𝚎 will be a greater villain than Lucifero will be. Because even if Lucifero comes back and he's at 100%, I think the cast can deal with him, but I think the person that's gonna be pulling the strings more is gonna be 𝚲𝚎𝚎. And we're already seeing that kind of already being foreshadowed with the Dark Triad. We thought that Dante was the leader, and then within time, we started seeing that Xenon was more the leader. And I think that's gonna play out with the devils as well once we get into the underworld arc. Like literally, I'm super excited of that possibility happening. I would love to see Black Clover start exploring different dimensions, because we already went to like a barrier when they fought Zakareth. Lucifero was basically looking at Austin and said, you can't do anything now, be crushed, fall, you guys are pieces of filth. And then you see a black moon. Lucifero, he already knows that it's Yami and Na. Lucifero knows that their power can cancel out his gravity magic. Yami and Na are saying, here we go, we're going to surpass our limits. Lucifero is saying, struggle in vain if you like, you still can't attack me, that brat can't even stand. And Asta stands up right when Lucifero says that. You know Asta's not playing around. He gets the Demon Slayer sword. Asta is Asta. He's always going to surpass his limits. Even when he's down, he's going to get back up. Lucifero is basically looking at Asta, realizing that he is going to get attacked. And you know, I like this part where Yami says, hey, Mr. Almighty Devil King, are you scared of our brat? I like like that because it's truly what Yami is. Yami is a ruffian. Black Bulls are ruffians. They come from all different backgrounds, but at the end of the day, a lot of them have been lost their nobility or, you know, societal rank. So they're really just the scums and the outcasts of the Clover Kingdom, and they don't really respect royalty and noble like the other people do. And Yami saying this to the Devil King is epic. It's a reminder as to what Black Clover is about. Like I said in the spoilers, a peasant can defeat royalty. Lucifero, he already knew that he was about to get destroyed. He saw that Asta was standing up, and then Asta goes to strike Lucifero. Yuno says there won't be a next time, but we all know it's gonna be a next time. Yuno just needs to have that cool line in because he does the star magic. It teleports Asta right where Lucifero's at, and Asta slices Lucifero. I don't think Asta sliced Lucifero's heart, but apparently he won and Lucifero can't do much about it. So I think that's epic. I think it's awesome because you see Yuno, Yami, and not all smiling. Patri, Gray, and Vanessa are all shocked that Asta defeat Lucifero. It looks like William Vengeance is still on the floor, still knocked out. Like I said before in another video, I wonder if William Vengeance will end up turning into a devil because he had the same thing going on with him as Yami. And as this is going on, 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚢 starts clapping and says, "Good job, you guys win." Lucifero looks, I guess, like a corpse, but he wasn't disintegrating, which is kind of interesting to me. This chapter was good. Twitter made it seem like this chapter was complete trash, but once you get the dialogue, once you get it translated, this chapter's good. This chapter leaves so much room for something epic in the future. I'm literally excited for the future arcs of Black Clover because I know we're going to get an arc in the underworld. So that's basically the chapter. For the people that love this chapter, sorry for the rant. For those who've been with me for a long time, no, if I don't like a chapter, I'm gonna let you guys know. But that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this chapter. Do you like that Lucifero got defeated, but it gives more room for him to return to the series? Do you think Lucifero is going to be the main villain of the series, or do you think it's going to be 𝙲𝚘𝚎𝚘𝚘? Do you think 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚢 was hoping for this and this was all part of the Order of the Flies? Like if you liked the video, comment, subscribe, and I'm out of here.